the integral of x squared minus 1 to the power of negative 1.5 dx. So this is the same as 1 over x squared minus 1 to the power of 1.5 or 3 over 2 dx. Let's consider only the denominator, so x squared minus 1 to the power of 3 over 2. This is the same as x squared minus 1 to the power of 1 over 2 to the power of 3. And we can change this into the square root of x squared minus 1 to the power of 3. This is a trigonometric substitution problem, and we see we have the square root of x squared minus 1, which belongs to this form. So a, or rather a squared, is going to be equal to 1, so a is equal to 1. And we have x equals to a times secant, and a is 1, so 1 times secant is just secant. We also need the derivative, so dx over d theta. What is the derivative of secant? Well, it's going to be secant times tan. And we also need to multiply both sides with d theta. Now, the next step is to simplify this part. So we want to simplify x squared minus 1 inside the square root. So we have the square root of x squared minus 1, and that's equal to the square root of secant squared minus 1. And we also know one of the trigonometry identities, plus 1 is secant squared. When we subtract both sides with 1, we end up with tan squared is secant squared minus 1, which is this. And this will simply be tan of theta. We also need to replace dx, and dx is secant tan d theta. Here we have a tan, so the tan will cancel out with this, so the number will no longer be a 3, but it will be a 2. We have the integral of 1 over tan to the power of 2 times secant d theta. So this will be cosine to the power of 2 over sine to the power of 2, and secant is 1 over cosine. This cosine will cancel out with this. We have cosine over sine squared d theta. Now let u equal to sine. Du over d theta will be cosine. Du will be cosine d theta, and d theta will be 1 over cosine du. We substituted u with sine, so sine squared will be u squared. And what is d theta? Well, d theta is 1 over cosine. The two cosines will cancel out, and we have the integral of u to the power of negative 2 du. Let's go ahead and make some space. We have seen this integral many times, and this integral will give us negative 1 over u plus c. At the very beginning, we let x equals secant. We can also say that secant is equal to x over 1. It's the same thing. So secant is basically 1 over cosine, and 1 over cosine is x over 1. So x cosine is 1, and cosine is 1 over x. Our SOHCAHTOA rule says that cosine is our adjacent side over hypotenuse. So the 1 will be the adjacent side, and the x will be the hypotenuse. We just need to find this side. So a squared plus 1 squared is x squared. A squared would be x squared minus 1. So a will be square root of x squared minus 1. How about sine? Well, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, and this is opposite x squared minus 1 over hypotenuse, which is x. And here we have 1 over sine. So 1 over sine will simply be the reciprocal of this. So x over the square root of x squared minus 1. As a result, we have negative x over the square root of x squared minus 1 plus c. And this right here is the answer.